Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name is Joshua Arce, Joshua Reviews, Movies, and More. And today we're going to be talking all things DC. I have a bunch of stuff that I want to show you guys here. But please make sure that you guys are subscribed. Have left a like on the video. Please comment down below your thoughts on this news as soon as I'm done sharing it and talking about it. It would really mean a lot if you guys were to share this with friends and family. So yeah, let's just go ahead and get into it. Alright, so the first thing that I have up is James Gunn teasing storyboards for Man of Tomorrow. With the caption, obviously, storyboard sequence 3. You can see, like, sort of in the middle that there's a blue paper in the middle of all the white boards, so I'm very curious to see what that is. But obviously, I'm not really going to look too much into it, because it's just storyboards. It's really nothing more than that. I'm still very skeptical of Man of Tomorrow. Gunn has come out and talked about the title of the film on social media, saying how it's really more in line with Lex Luthor, and et cetera, et cetera. Like, or at least I think that's where I saw it. I think he posted it on Threads. I have no idea, though. It could have just been a fake tweet for all I know. Yeah, I'm very skeptical of Man of Tomorrow. I don't know, it just seems, by the way Gunn has talked about it, it feels much more like a Lex Luthor movie than a Superman movie. It seems like Superman is going to be a supporting character in his own movie, which is like really weird. Like, why are we having a Lex Luthor movie? Like, what? It just doesn't really make any sense to me. And I have no idea what we're doing in terms of villain, because now it's just very confusing. Gunn has not really given any context as to what... Because obviously when he posted that first picture of the script, we all thought that it was going to be... We all thought that it was going to be Brainiac. It's not, supposedly. So we're just going to have to wait and see on that. Also, I just got done eating breakfast, so... I apologize if there are many cuts in this video because I'm going to probably be burping a lot and getting a lot of this stuff out. Anyway, next thing that I have is Man of Tomorrow and The Batman 2 are officially slated to hit IMAX screens in 2027. I think it is pretty funny how, like, DC and, you know, Gunn are so confident that these movies are actually going to get made, considering with everything being up in the air in terms of Warner Brothers and its sale. I mean, Gunn even came out and talked about, with Boba Talks in an interview, saying that he doesn't even know if he's going to be able to fulfill these DC plans because of, you know, just everything in general that's happening with Warner Brothers and the sale. And, I mean, we don't know how this is necessarily going to affect the studio and Gunn and Safran. I know that people have said that if Paramount take over, that they're wanting to do a reboot of their own. I don't know how smart of an idea that would be, considering... well, I just feel as if people would lose interest by then. I feel like the only thing that would really reel people back in is if they were to bring Cavill back as Superman and Affleck back as Batman. And speaking of Affleck as Batman, Zack Snyder posted a brand new image of Ben in the suit, and it was actually the first time Ben had ever donned the suit, and it's a really cool Polaroid image. If you guys don't follow Zack on Instagram, literally just at Zack Snyder on Instagram, and you can go over there, follow him. He posts a lot of cool behind-the-scenes pics of his DC movies, of his new upcoming movie, The Last Photograph, as well, that he's currently shooting, and etc. And if you just want to see some cool pics of some badass DC characters, I mean, that's the place to do it. And Vero. He's been posting on Vero for years. This is the first time that he's only really gone mainstream on social media besides being on Twitter. So, anyway, besides that, I want to talk about Constantine 2. Because James Gunn has come out and said that he has discussed Constantine 2 with Keanu Reeves, but hasn't read a script. He said, and quote, "I've discussed it on and off, I've discussed it with Keanu, but I have not read any script yet." And that, again, is coming from the Boba Talks interview. It's very interesting that we're getting a sequel to Constantine 2. I know that I talked about it in one of my last DC updates. You know, I would definitely love to see this movie come to fruition. If Keanu wants to make it happen, and if they have a good script and Gunn greenlights it, then great. But also, again, with the whole up in the air thing with Warner Brothers. I have no idea how that's going to happen, if that's going to happen, because it will indeed most likely fall under the Elseworlds banner, much like the Batman Part 2. But we're just going to have to wait and see on how everything unfolds with the Warner Brothers sale and with Gunn's position at DC, because I know his contract runs out literally next year. So we're just going to have to wait and see how everything works, I guess. I also want to talk about Lanterns. Aaron Pierre has come out and promised fans that this is a long time coming for fans. He said, end quote, "It's been a long time coming for many fans and supporters, and I truly hope with all my heart we make everybody proud and we make everybody thrilled that we did this." So, Lanterns has been very controversial, mainly because of the castings, right? Aaron Pierre is such a good casting. Obviously, Kyle Chandler, a lot of people wanted a younger guy to be Hal Jordan, but it is what it is. And Gunn has come out and said that this does connect to the larger portion within the DCU and the larger story, grand story that they're trying to tell. Obviously, the last bit of DC content that we got was Peacemaker Season 2, and that obviously ended on a huge cliffhanger with Chris being trapped on Salvation, alone, without his suit, without any gadgets, without anything, and I wonder if this Lantern series is going to touch up on that in any way, shape, or form. I would hope so. This is one of the first DC projects that we're getting that Gunn is not directly involved with. He has not written, he has not directed, he has not done anything on this show, so it's just going to be really, really interesting to see. Same thing with Greg Gillespie's Supergirl as well. That's also going to be really interesting to see, and that's really going to be the make or break for the DCU on whether or not this thing will succeed or not. But we're just gonna have to, wait and see on how everything unfolds and how everything comes together, I guess. I want to talk about Batman, Brave, and the Bold, because Andy Muschietti has come out and talked about it. He said, we have to wait a couple months to start talking about it. I screwed it already. Basically, Andy Muschietti might have said too much. Confirming that Batman, Brave, and the Bold is still at play. We're still working on it. And James Gunn actually did come out and talk about Brave and the Bold as well, now that I'm thinking about it. James Gunn has confirmed the Brave and the Bold hasn't cast its Batman yet, and that the story has undergone major changes since the film was first announced. So obviously, when the film was first announced, it was going to be, the Bat family, everything like that. Damian was supposedly going to be in the movie, right? And now it's supposedly going under major changes. I don't know what those changes are. I have no idea. But, I mean, it'll be interesting to see how this whole thing plays out, I guess. Andy Muschietti did okay with Batman in The Flash in terms of the action, but in terms of the storytelling, he did absolutely awful. So, I mean, he literally had Michael Keaton's Batman sacrificing himself for, no reason at all. There was no reason for him to make that sacrifice whatsoever. It was the most stupidest thing that I've ever seen in any single Batman iteration ever. But, besides that, we're just going to move on to the last piece of news that I have here, which is, Darkseid. James Gunn says Darkseid won't be the big bad to the DCU, praising Zack Snyder's take and noting parallels to Thanos. He said, quote, "Using Darkseid as the big bad now is not necessarily the thing, because Zack did it so cool in his way and because of Thanos and Marvel." I actually do have the clip from the interview, but I'm not going to show it because I've already posted it, I believe, on social media and reposted it 1,000 times. Yeah, look, this is definitely interesting. If he's doing the Salvation run, that's also interesting. Consider Darkseid runs Salvation. It's a whole thing, etc. But I guess he's only taking certain aspects from that run and implementing it to his own sort of universe, which is fine, I guess. And obviously, I don't think you're going to be able to outdo Zack's iteration of Darkseid. I mean, Ray Porter, Chris Terrio, everyone did such a great job with that character in Zack Snyder's Justice League and make him so unbelievably menacing and scary. And I don't think you're going to be able to top that anytime soon. Especially with Mr. Miracle having, Darkseid in that show and apparently having him be over the top and silly according to the plot synopsis, which is just stupid. But, I do want to see Darkseid in DC movies again, and DC content again, but I just don't know if that'll be anytime soon, especially in terms of live action projects. I don't think we're going to be getting that anytime soon. But we'll just have to wait and see, I guess. I love that character. He's just so menacing and so great. And there are some parallels to Thanos. They are similar in a lot of ways. But I'm pretty sure Darkseid has existed longer, if I'm not mistaken. But feel free to correct me on that. My phone cut out on me. Anyway, I've been Joshua Arce at Joshua Reviews, Movies, and More. Please make sure to subscribe, leave a like on the video. Leave your thoughts down in the comments down below, and I shall catch you all in the next video. Take care and peace.